Welcome to another edition of CPG Insiders. I'm your
Ooh.
host, Mark Young, with a co host, Justin Gerard.
Hello.
Hello. Justin,
Hello.
we're going to talk about all things celebrity today.
It's gonna be fun.
So, I have a very unique position here. And I'll tell you why, folks. In the world of talent, and when I say celebrities, I'm not talking about some micro influencer. I'm talking about somebody on TV and movies, a musician, athlete,
Mm-hmm.
somebody with some big universal recognition.
Sure.
And I'm in a unique position because I've managed talent and I've also bought talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been on both sides of the desk in these arrangements. So what I really want to do, Justin, I want to talk to people from both sides.
Yeah. I think
So
it's fun.
because it's important to know what's going on.
No, I think that's really fun. And just quickly to kind of start the conversation, if you could run through with the audience, let's just start with why. Like, why even use a celebrity? What's the point? What are the benefits of using a
Hmm.
celebrity?
So here's the first thing. The number one thing that a celebrity does in a TV commercial, print ad, digital, whatever the case is, the number one thing they do is they get the person to stop on the ad for a second.
Mm.
Because I like Chuck Norris. I like Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris is on TV doing something. I'm a Chuck Norris fan. What's he doing?
Right.
Because I like him, I want to know what he's doing.
It's a pattern interrupt.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, that only grabs a few seconds. I still need some good content and some great creative and stuff to hold you, but it stops me from tuning out, walking away, or flipping the channel.
Which is sometimes the heaviest lift, honestly.
Right. Again, average person gets 6,000 to 25,000 ads a day, but only has the capacity to recognize 12. So a celebrity helps you get in that 12.
Yep.
The next thing the celebrity does is, let's assume that your product is very unknown. Not that famous products don't use celebrities. I mean, Pepsi had Michael Jackson.
Right.
I mean, Pepsi's literally as well known as Michael Jackson.
Right.
But Pepsi still got the same panache from it as anyone gets. And that is how the public feels about the celebrity now transfers to the product.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the days when they had Michael Jackson was super hot. That's when the Thriller album came out, and he was the hottest thing in entertainment.
Yep.
So everybody, Pepsi's cool because Michael Jackson drinks Pepsi.
Yep.
That makes it cool.
Yep.
Sometimes you hire a celebrity because of their association.
Association to what?
Give you an example. My dear departed buddy and brother Chuck Woolery was the host of Love Connection and the dating game.
Mm-hmm.
So, who hired him as a talent? Great Expectations dating service.
Yeah. It seems obvious now.
Correct. Because the guy who's put more people together on television is now the guy that's going to help me meet my special someone.
Right. You're going to use LeBron James to sell Gatorade because he's an athlete and you want to be
Correct.
like him. Yeah.
Right. So association makes sense. I'm going to hire Jillian Michaels to sell my supplement because she's known as an exercise guru.
Right.
So those are the reasons you hire. But those same reasons impact how much you pay.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I'm going to start by talking as a talent manager. So I would take calls all the time for people who wanted to hire Chuck and they wanted him to do stuff. So first thing I want everybody to understand is any of us who manage talent, we're getting calls all week long with people who have offers. And the offers, most of the offers are very little money, and we want to give you stock in the company, and we're going to give you, part ownership, whatever the case is. Here's the reality. It's very hard to get a celebrity excited about that because I'm seeing five of them a week.
Yeah, I would assume that in order for that to be appetizing to the celebrity, it has to be a brand or a product or something that they have a personal passion for. And now this is more than just a job. This is something they want to get involved with.
Correct. So if you find that there's a celebrity out there who is passionate about your product and wants to own a piece of that business, okay, you might be able to do a deal.
Yeah.
But as a rule, I'm just telling people cash is king. Don't go in there making offers that we're going to give you some stock in the company. It's not usually a viable offer.
Yeah.
Now in direct response, you can make a cash plus offer.
So cash plus like rev share, is that what you're talking
Yes,
about? Okay.
those are viable. So for me to go to talent and say I'm going to pay you $75,000 and 50 cents a sale, okay, that might be interesting. If I
Right.
if my manager and I believe we can sell your product.
Okay.
But to
That
say
makes
I'm going to
sense.
give you 50 cents a sale and I'm giving you no money up front, not happening.
No, 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 not at all. That their time is worth money. So they need to get paid for the minimum of their time.
Right. Now, the next thing you need to understand, and again, I'm still being on the management side here.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrities look at deals based on their association. So, what that means is how likely are they to get a call this year from a similar competing product who would pay more?
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So
That
when
makes
Chuck
sense.
Woolery, when I got a call from Great Expectations, which used to be a big dating
Yeah.
site and dating service, when they called to hire Chuck, I had the negotiating power because there's only one Chuck Woolery, but there's 10 of you.
Right.
And the odds that one of your competitors might want to have the one and only Chuck Woolery
Are pretty
is
high.
really good.
Yeah, and you can't have a celebrity bouncing multiple brands. That has to be exclusive, or it simply doesn't work.
So as a manager, I'm going to charge more money for Chuck Woolery doing dating than I would for Chuck Woolery doing anti-itch cream. And the
Yeah.
reason is because as his manager, what's the odds that other itch creams are going to call me to hire Chuck this year? Not that
Right.
good.
Probably low. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, but he's not an expert in itching.
I hope not. That would look really bad if he was on the
Right.
dating game and he was an expert in itching.
He just sits there
Put-
scratching himself the whole time. But you kind of get my point that
Yes.
the odds. So when you're the manager, you're saying, you're looking at, okay, these guys have got an itch cream. They're willing to pay me $150,000. My talent doesn't have anything going in the next 2 weeks. Because remember, celebrities don't work every day like we do.
Right.
They work in spurts.
Yeah.
So like when Chuck would do a game show, he would do 6 shows a day.
Yeah.
So literally an entire season was laid down in 6 to 8 weeks.
And so it was a sprint for that time period, but
Right.
then
So he worked his tail off for
Right.
8 weeks, and now I've got a down season.
yeah.
So now what can I do? What work's available now? So if I can look at that and say, well, I don't have any itch creams looking for Chuck. What's his calendar look like? Well, the calendar is kind of open, and they're offering me $150,000. How long will it take, and what's the use? So here's when I say, what's it take and what's the use? Clients have a tendency to say, well, we only need him for a day. It's only a day's work. So you have to understand, celebrities don't look at the day as the value.
Mm-mm.
So it's not like, so what, I'm giving you a day plus a day of travel. That's not what they look at. What they look at is, what's the use and what's the value I'm bringing?
Yes.
Because also keep in mind, a celebrity can be overexposed.
Absolutely. If you've got again using Chuck as the example here, if Chuck had 10 different brands and all these categories, all advertising at the same time, you might start to look like, for lack of a better term, a brand whore, right? And then it could,
Shaquille O'Neal right now.
right. And it could really hurt his effectiveness of impact and also future jobs and opportunities. So you've got to limit your exposure. That makes sense.
So Shaq's a little overexposed.
Yeah, he's kind of everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, and Michael
Yeah.
Jordan used to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Shaq is definitely overexposed right now.
Yeah.
And you'll also notice Shaq he's allowed himself to appear in some low budget commercials that make him look bad.
Yeah.
Like the general
Generally,
insurance.
I was thinking that, yeah.
So that's the next thing we look at. What's the product? What's the association? Is this going to drag my talent down? Is this going to lift my talent up? And what is the capabilities and the quality of the company shooting the commercial? And where will they air it?
Mm.
These are all things that go into this equation.
Yeah.
So as an example, if I might have taken an itch cream for 150,000, I wouldn't take the dating thing for under 400.
Of course not. The value is
Right.
exponential.
Not only am I bringing the value to the table because it's the one and only host of Love Connection,
right.
I can go sell him to Match.com or something if I want to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to charge you more.
Yep.
Now, a lot of times we get calls from clients and my mother's cousin's neighbor's roommate is friends with Tom Cruise. So I think we can get him. No, you can't. So let's say you even met Tom Cruise. Let's say your mother's neighbor's
Right.
cousin's roommate really does know Tom Cruise and you went to a party and Tom Cruise was there. That's great. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If you go and call Tom, I'd love to put you in an ad for my itch cream. Let me tell you exactly what Tom's going to say. Here's my commercial manager's number.
Mm-hmm.
Now, also keep in mind, and I'll expose it, I don't know if you know this, you have a different manager for commercials than you have for talent.
That makes sense. I would assume that may also depend on the size of the celebrity, but I could be wrong there.
Anybody who's B level and above.
Okay.
If you're B and above,
okay,
you have one person that does commercial, one person that does entertainment.
That makes sense.
Because they are different negotiations.
100% different skill sets. I mean,
yep.
That makes sense.
Because the commercial guy is selling business.
Yeah.
So he's going to say, I'm represented by William Morris. Tom Ferreter's my manager. Here's his phone number. Give him a call.
Right.
That's it. He's not going to talk to you anymore about this. One of the reasons is because celebrities are well trained by their managers to know you, the celebrity, cannot negotiate on your own behalf.
Mm-mm.
You can't do it.
No, you're not going to go to court and be your own lawyer, even if you are a lawyer, right?
Now, here's the flip side to this, though, Justin. And the flip side is companies can't negotiate on their own behalf either. When they do, they make bad deals.
Yep.
And here's one of the reasons. One of the reasons you need to take everybody out of the equation. First off, so understand, I know lots of managers in Hollywood and known them all for years. And a client comes to me and he goes, we want to hire so-and-so. Chances are I can call the guy's manager. I probably got his number. And I can send him a text and say, hey, what's your guy doing? Interested in this, so on and so forth. I have a relationship and we both know the game.
Right.
So think about two lawyers who walk into court, plunging each other to bits, and then leave and go to lunch.
Right.
Because that happens.
Of course. Yeah.
Right. we're opposing each other this morning. We'll meet at the cafe outside the courthouse when we're done and have lunch.
Yeah, yeah. When we're in court, our job is to do exactly our jobs. That has nothing to do with us personally.
Right. So when I call somebody else's manager, and if I'm on the buyer side and I call somebody else's manager, they know my job is I want to get their guy for the least amount of money.
And I know their job is to get the most. And
Is to
here
get
we
the
go.
most.
Right.
And we're not mad at each other, and we're not emotionally tied to this.
Right. Right.
And we both know the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
I've literally called people and said, look, nobody is calling your guy for itch cream tomorrow. This is found money, dude. This is free money. Nobody's calling him, and he's off work for the next 2 months.
Right.
I want him for 1 day, and I'm going to write you a check.
Come on, let's get to scratching and make some money. Come on.
Now, here's the other thing that I always do. Usually when I'm hiring a celebrity for a client, I make sure that the client picks out 3 to 5 celebrities. And the reason I do that is because everybody knows each other. So
Okay.
now I call Tom Cruise's agent. I'm like, well, I'm looking at hiring Tom for itch cream. I got a call out to Brad Pitt's
Right.
rep right now. And I'm talking to George Clooney's guy, but we like Cruise. We think he's a good possibility. They have to know that they're not the only talent because, and this is the warning I want to give to our listeners. Once you lock yourself into this is the only talent I want,
You lose negotiating power.
they own you.
Yeah. It's gone. Yeah.
Because now there's no other way out of this.
Yep.
So we have to know there's alternatives. One, you really need alternatives because maybe I can't make a deal with Cruz. Maybe he just doesn't want it.
Right.
Cruz might say, I don't want anything to do with itch cream. I don't want people seeing me scratching.
Right.
And by the way, think of some of these products when you think about the celebrities being called to do Viagra spots. No, I don't want to do Viagra.
Right. I don't want to be associated with that.
I don't want to be on a hemorrhoid ad.
Right.
I don't want the association.
Yep.
It's not my brand.
Yep.
So you have to have these choices. So here's the other reason. Once the deal is made, once the deal's in place, the manager and the buyer, the agent, us, depends which side we're on.
You're sitting on, yeah.
So as the agency side, the manager and I don't hate each other.
Right.
We have no hard feelings toward each other at all.
Right.
And I assure you, we spent an hour on the phone talking about our mutual friends and things going on in our life that had nothing to do with your negotiation. When the client tries to negotiate with talent, somebody ends up with hard feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the relationship we need between an advertiser and a talent. We need them to like each other.
Well, I was just going to say it's the rapport factor, right? You need that rapport factor, especially if, let's say, you do work through the deal and everything's fine. And let's say the first year went great and now you're trying to negotiate for year 2 or year 3. You hate each other and there are all these hard feelings. You're going to take that into the negotiation and it's only going to hurt the relationship.
Yeah. So what I want is I want my client, I want the first time they meet their celebrity to be dinner the night before the shoot.
Right. Right. This is the awe moment. This is, oh my gosh, look at this. I've seen you in that.
Right.
And yeah.
That's when I want them to meet each other. We're having a nice dinner. We're shooting Thursday morning. Wednesday night, we're having a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
And Mr. and Mrs. Jones, here's Chuck Woolery. And
right.
And the talent, as usual, knows how to charm the night.
Of course.
Because they're used to being charming and being entertaining.
Yep.
And the advertiser gets to meet their celebrity and get to know them on a personal basis. And we go to the set tomorrow, and we're friends.
Right.
So the talent is excited. These are nice people. I really want to do a great job for these folks. I had a great dinner with them. I hope this ad really works out well. That's where my
Yeah.
talent needs to be in a mindset when they walk onto the set, not just give me a script and a check.
Right.
I want the talent to walk onto the set saying, I really want to sell this.
Right.
These are good people.
I'm here for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are good folks. And I'm going to talk about them in my social media. And maybe I'm going to do an appearance for them or whatever the case is. So that's why we try to keep you out of it. The other reason we try to keep you out of it is there's no such thing as, how would I put this? There's no menu for how much celebrities are worth.
No, it's based on the market. It's based on the
Right.
opportunities. I mean, it fluctuates like everything else.
So there's no place you can go and say, go buy Dean Cain. How much is Dean Cain?
Right. Let me just pull up that menu really quick.
Right. So, and by the way, Dean's a friend of mine. And how much is Dean Cain? Well, let's take a look. You want Dean Cain to be Superman? You're going to pay more.
Right. Right.
You want Dean Cain to just talk about your car?
Okay.
Probably okay, because
Right.
probably doesn't have another car ad coming.
Yeah.
So again, it's the association. It's also the relationship and the rapport between the agent and the broker and the talent.
Yeah.
So the ideal situation, the best situation actually is when your agency knows the talent and knows the agent.
Oh, yeah. So then the talent can give a little bit of push onto the agent to say, I want a deal done. Go
Right.
get me a deal done. Right.
So that's the best situation.
Yeah.
So if I was hiring John Schneider, John's a friend of mine. John is Bo Duke
Mm-hmm.
from Dukes of Hazzard. John and I know each other. I can call John. I can text him, yada, yada, yada. But if I'm hiring him, I also know his manager.
Right.
So I'm going to call John and say, John, what do you think about doing this? Yeah, I could do that. That seems pretty cool. And I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to call Bobby and work out a deal.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk to John about the numbers.
Mm-mm.
You like the product. You and I are friends. Let me call your manager and I'll work a deal out and I'll get back to you.
Still keeping all of that separate. Keep that away from the talent.
And that's the way they would like it.
Yep.
I've been in rooms where people literally walked up to Chuck and said they would like to hire him for something. And Chuck will say, well, talk to Mark right here because he's the person that's going to have to take care of that, and purposely walk away.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he doesn't want anything to do with it.
No, because as you talked about earlier, even being in that conversation for the talent is going to change the emotions they have for the individuals. Hearing their value talked about and what they're worth, like that has an impact on a person, even if that's what they're used to as far as their livelihood. And you just don't want that. You don't want them anywhere near that.
And I'll tell you as an example, I'm not a celebrity, but I've done a lot of radio and television.
Mm-hmm.
I've done hundreds of TV commercials, probably 1,000 radio commercials. I never get involved with how much we charge for me because it's too weird.
It never works out. So we keep you away from that every single time.
Yeah, because I don't even know how to price me.
No, how do you, I mean, as a person, how do you do that? Like, how do you just say, well, I think I'm worth this?
Right.
It's just weird.
So if you're thinking about hiring a celebrity, if a celebrity is right for your product, and by the way, celebrities can do great things for products. Chuck lifted many products. Ed McMahon made a bunch of great products. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. Shaq has done a great job on a lot of products. Jordan with shoes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean that's a multi-billion-dollar operation.
Yes.
Just from Michael Jordan and shoes.
Right.
And Nike wouldn't be Nike without Michael Jordan.
No, not even close. Not even close.
They would nowhere be near the company they are had it not been a Michael Jordan.
Nope.
So celebrities can have enormous values. Again, Michael Jordan was not only fame, but association.
Yes.
Because I'm the world's
Yes.
greatest basketball player, and these are the shoes I wear.
Right. Yeah.
These are the shoes that make me jump so high.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, the shoes did not make him jump any higher. That was talent.
No, that was Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. That was hardcore talent and relentless practice.
Yes. Yes.
But regardless, it's the association. It's funny. I'll give an example in the car business. So people know I race cars. In the car building business, if you want to sell your race car,
Mm-hmm.
go lay down a winning lap. Go win a race or set a record. Yeah. Give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
So go take that car, go out on track, and set a blazing time. Now, other people will want to buy the car because the car turned that lap. Never thinking for a moment, maybe the driver turned
Right.
that lap.
Maybe there's something to do with the person behind the wheel. I don't know.
Right. Nope. This is the car that makes that happen.
Right.
This is the cologne that makes women swoon.
Mm-hmm.
This is the cologne that James Bond wears.
Right.
So I'll be like James Bond.
I mean, it all makes sense. I guess a question I have for you, I guess a little bit on the flip side, because I think, yeah, you covered really well why use a celebrity and the value that it can bring. Um, I guess for the listeners, what are some, I'll say, warning signs or things to avoid? You've talked about negotiations, but let's just talk about approach to celebrity. What are some of the, what are some of those truths? What are some of the things that, if you're thinking about going this route with celebrity, here's some of the things to look for or some things to avoid when you're trying to go this route?
Well, first up, if you got a good agent will know how to price them.
Yep.
And I will tell people that in many cases, advertisers are surprised at the prices that we can get some big name celebrities for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we catch them in the off season, we catch them with a good item, they've got some time, it's an area where they might not pick something up. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example of a guy who will just take almost anything you throw at him. Bill Shatner. He just likes working.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just wants to have a camera pointed at him.
Right. Right.
So you can go to Bill Shatner with almost anything, and if he likes it, he'll go and do the spot. But he's a good guy, and he just wants to work.
Yeah.
Here's another little tip. Being famous doesn't mean you're wealthy.
Mm.
I'm not going to give any names here, but I know a lot of celebrities who have immediate name and face recognition, who you would know in a second, who desperately need money.
Mm.
Because just because you're rich and famous doesn't mean you know how to manage dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll give you an example because I can use this because he's already passed away. Mickey Rooney.
Oh, yeah.
Mickey Rooney was one of the most famous movie actors ever back years ago. And his agent is an old friend of mine. And he would call me up. He was the agent for Mickey. He was also the agent for Gary Coleman.
Oh, wow.
Both have passed.
Yeah.
Gary was another guy who, if he made $100, he spent $200.
Yeah.
Sammy Davis, exact same thing.
Yeah.
Sammy was always broke.
Yeah.
Always in debt. Mickey, always in debt. So he would literally call me up and, what do you got for Mickey? Got anything Mickey can do? I'm like, oh, Dan, come on. I mean, the guy's 120 years old and, half of the audience doesn't know who he is. You got to know somebody that can use Mickey. I'm like, well, what's going on with him? Well, I got him $6 million. This is a true story. I just got him $6 million to go do a European tour for Casablanca. It was
Okay.
He was like one of the last remaining
Okay.
living members of the staff and did a tour and so on and so forth. I'm like, well, that's great money. What's wrong? He goes, he blew it all on the ponies already.
Oh.
So when you're on the inside of this circle, we usually know who needs money and who doesn't.
Yeah.
So and
Can
again,
help.
it's not taking advantage. It's not like I'm trying to take advantage of somebody. But if you call me and you say, I'd really like to have Junior Walker in a TV spot, who's famous for his dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the reality is, I know JJ Walker will take a job for 50 grand
Right.
because he just needs the money.
Right. Right.
So, as your agent, my job is to get you the most talent for the least amount of money. So, it's not like I'm trying to take advantage of them, but
No.
I know it'll work for 50 grand and you're my client, so that's what I'm going to offer.
Right.
But you wouldn't know that without being on the inside of that circle.
That makes sense.
Now, back to your question, but what do you need to watch out for? You need to watch out for associations today.
Mm.
So, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do before you hire your talent, go comb over all their social media
Mm.
and see if they're saying any crazy things.
Right. Anything that would hurt your brand, anything that's going to go against your customer base, your product.
Yep. So go comb over all their social media. And if you're Black Rifle Coffee, you don't want to hire a talent who's out bashing President Trump.
Right, because it doesn't work for your brand or your customer base. So that would
Correct.
make no sense. Yeah.
Now, if you're Ben and Jerry's ice cream and you want to have a Colbert ice cream flavor, that'll work
Right.
because they're far left. So for them to say, let's do a flavor around Jimmy Fallon or let's do a flavor around, Colbert,
Sure.
it'll work
Right.
because that's fine.
Yep.
But if you're Ben and Jerry's, you probably wouldn't be doing a Gutfeld ice
Sure.
cream flavor.
Right. Right. Just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Sean Hannity's not going to be on your ice cream.
Right. Right.
So comb over the social media, see what they're doing, and then I would go out and I would do some Google or some Chat GPT searches
Mhm.
and find out everything they've been doing for the past 6 months.
Okay.
And then I would go to their Wikipedia page and look and see what historical controversies they've been involved with.
Yeah. See if any skeletons can pop back up.
Because you'll look and you'll say, well, this talent had this really ugly divorce from this other celebrity 10 years ago. You need to know these things.
Yeah.
So that you know what might come back and bite you.
Right.
So if you're a brand that is selling family values and your talents had 8 wives, it could come back in social media and bite you.
Right.
Because in today's world, you don't want to give people any kind of fodder to go onto social media and call you a hypocrite or call you foolish for hiring somebody.
Well, and you bring up a good point. When you also think about with tools like ChatGPT out, it is so much faster for
Right.
these people to be able to find this information out. It takes no time at all. They don't have to work for it anymore.
And by the way, if we are your agent, we're actually going to do that work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you were a client here and you said, I want to hire whoever, we would actually do all that background work ourselves.
Right.
Because we wouldn't let you get into the middle of something and find out your talent's a problem.
Yeah. No. You don't want a PR nightmare on your hand.
Now, in the contracts that we do, we always sign people to contracts that are exclusive to the category. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
We also put morals clauses in the categories. So the morals category is basically if you, Mr. Celebrity, Miss Celebrity, if you do something that embarrasses my brand, I can end this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We also put things in there that you will not be seen using a competing brand. You will not go on TV drinking somebody else's soda,
Right.
whatever the case is. So all that's written into the agreement.
Yeah.
The other thing that we do for the younger brands, the brands that don't have as much money, sometimes what we'll do, I'm really giving away a bunch of secrets here, we'll offer the celebrity a 1 year contract with 2 years of options. And the option is optional on the part of the advertiser and the celebrity. But if our client doesn't have a lot of money going in, we'll make the second and the third year a bigger
Bigger.
deal.
Yeah.
So we can go to the talent and say, look, we're only going to give you 100 grand. 100 grand is the best we can do this year because that's where our finances are. But if you do what we think you can do, we're going to pay you 150 next year, 175 in
Right.
year two, and I'm going to give you 2.25 in year three. Now, again, those might be bigger jumps than we need to do, but what I'm saying here is we can, there's a little bit of a carrot and a stick we can do. There always has to be money on the table.
Yeah.
And here's the other reason there always has to be money on the table, folks. Because the agent gets paid out of that money. The agent doesn't get paid out of, we're going to give you stock options. So understand the agent's always looking at where's my 10% coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're going to give them stock, then I'm going to do all this work for zero.
That doesn't benefit me.
So the agent's still going to say, well, I get it that he likes the company and would like to have some stock, but I still need 75,000 up front because I'm not going to do the paperwork for less than $7,500 to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way that goes.
Yeah. The time's valuable.
Right. And by the way, you wouldn't expect to buy a house from an agent and the agent to do it for free either.
No. No. It doesn't work that way.
No, everybody has to make a living.
Yeah.
So I hope that gives you an idea. Anything you think I missed, Justin? Any questions in your mind about how to do this?
No, I mean, I think you really covered, again, when we're talking about celebrities and how the negotiation works, what the environment looks like. I would just say that last thing for our listeners is, as you can tell, we have a lot of experience in this. We understand the space extremely well. So if you have any questions, of course, reach out to us if there's anything we didn't answer for you. But just remember that when you're looking at celebrities, to Mark's point, when we talk about that concept of association, because that's the key to it, it comes down to that association and hopefully valuable association. But that also means to get the most out of that you actually understand your brand, you understand your customer, so then you can actually understand what the value of said association is going to be. So don't go around as an owner, and we're fans too, right? We're humans, and get caught up in, well, I just love this person, and so I want them here. Do the work. Understand your business, understand your brand, understand your customers, because that might not be the right fit. And this comes down to what is the most value that you can get out of this association, what it can do for your business. And it all comes down to understanding who you are first to be able to identify the right celebrity.
So I think that's pretty good. I think we've covered everything. Yeah, I think we got it all.
No, I think this has been a really great show. And again, if anybody has any questions on the topic, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on the CPG Insiders website. You can reach out to us at jekyllhydelabs.com or jnhlabs.com. Send us a message. And we are happy to help answer any of those questions or give you any advice on this topic or obviously any other.
Last thing I'm going to tell people is be careful what you're asking for.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an example. Like we hired, and I've become friends with them, and we hired Alfonso Ribeiro to do commercials.
Yep.
Great talent.
Mm-hmm. Great
Enormous
talent.
physical comedian,
Yes. Yes.
like old school physical comedian.
Yes.
At
Yes.
that, I mean, he's literally at that. He had that. What would I say? Laurel and Hardy, Three Stooges ability to act with his body.
Yes.
However, he hates it when
He
anybody
does hate
asks
it.
him to do the Carlton
Don't
dance.
do it. Don't. He does hate it. He does hate it.
He absolutely hates it when somebody wants to hire him and they expect him to do that dance. Why?
Yeah.
Because it typecasted him and he's trying to move from it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll find celebrities want to, what made them famous, they're trying to get away from.
That's a good point.
So you have to be sensitive to the celebrity's needs. And the last thing I forgot to tell you was the celebrity and his agent do get final review of the copy.
Well, I was just going to bring this up. Thank you. That's immediately where my mind went. Is I know this is our process, and so I don't know if it's just our process or if it is the right way to do it, and everyone does this or should do this. But we always have the creative completed before we go to the celebrity because they need to know what they're signing up for, and we need to know that it makes sense and all the messaging is correct. So,
And
is that just something we do, or is it what everyone should do?
yeah, it's what we do. And you
Yeah.
need to be able to write in the celebrity's voice.
Yes.
So I'm going to end by telling people a story. So years ago, we had a client come to us, and the client made the product was called Quinella Chitlins.
I wasn't here for this, but I've heard the story.
And this company invented a machine. Chitlins are shipped; they're pig intestines, and they're
Yes.
shipped still dirty.
Yeah.
So they come in a bucket, and you take the bucket and you put it in hot water and you boil them for an hour or two. Then you take them out and throw all the dirty water away. Then you boil them again. So it's a day-long process
Mm-hmm.
to make chitlins. And they called me and said, we want to get on TV. We've come up with a way to, they invented a machine that completely stripped and cleaned the chitlins. So now the chitlins came in a clear plastic bag and they were perfect.
Mm.
And all you had to do was heat and eat.
I mean, it's a big
So
deal.
a real big shift for people
Yeah.
to think about.
Yeah.
So we want to do a commercial. We're thinking about a talent. Who do you think would be a good idea? So I gave a call over to somebody I knew. She's passed away now. Her name was LaWanda Page. And if any of you remember, you might not know the name, but LaWanda played Aunt Esther on Sanford and Sons.
Yep.
And her and Red Fox used to call each other names on the show. And he
Yeah.
would say, I'm going to use your face as a stamp to make gorilla cookies.
Yeah.
And by the way, they were actually touring vaudeville acts together. They
Oh,
were
wow.
actually close friends.
That's really cool.
Her and Red Fox and Flip Wilson and what's the guy that blew himself up with cocaine? He was hysterical.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember his
He
name.
was such a good talent.
Yeah, he was.
They used to travel together as a traveling comedy show.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Mm.
So could you just imagine being on the travel bus with those four people?
No. Your stomach would hurt. You'd just be laughing so much.
So anyways, I called LaWanda up and I said, hey, LaWanda, I've got this idea and I don't want to insult you, so please don't take this the wrong way. I've got this client, and chitlins is a very southern black
Yes.
food.
Yep.
What would you think of a commercial for a company that makes super clean chitlins? And LaWanda says to me, oh, honey, I grew up on a pig farm in East St. Louis. My mama used to make me clean the chitlins, and she goes, whoo, it was bad. That was the spot.
Right.
She wrote the spot on the phone call with me.
That's all you needed. That's it.
because it was like, oh my God, that's the commercial.
Right. Done.
How can you get better association?
You can't.
And then we were shooting the spot, and we made the spot at the end where LaWanda said, so kick the bucket, honey. Because they came in a bucket. Kick the
Yep.
bucket. And poor LaWanda, she literally had one foot missing. My wife had to step in and kick the bucket for her on camera. And she had diabetic. And it was the end of the day, and she was so struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, she could not get this line out. So kick the bucket, honey. And we're like on take 35 of this line.
Oof.
And finally, LaWanda just gets angry. And she goes, so kick the bucket, sucker. And I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss that in the script? Because she was famous for calling Fred a sucker.
So much better.
And it was
so
like,
much better.
Got it. We're done.
Right.
That's the take. We're finished. And it was one of those little things that I missed. I missed, instead of kick the bucket, honey, it always should have been kick the bucket, sucker.
That's the magic of shooting, right? That is the type of improv, the things that can happen on set. That's the magic. That really is. That's the magic of doing it.
Yeah, and this stuff tends to happen when you have great talent.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Like when we were shooting spots for Bob Evans with Alfonso, and we did this TV commercial where he was making Dad's secret mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, when really he was just serving Bob Evans.
Yeah.
We had this thing, and we had some flour, and I'm like, Alfonso, put the flour on your face, make it look like you really worked hard. And he's like, no, watch this. And he sticks his hands in the flour and goes like this and just blows it all over his face. I'm like, that was amazing, because
yes,
I had an idea, he had his talent.
Yep.
And together we had this moment in the spot that just helped make the spot even better.
Yep.
Because it was an athlete that did it with chalk. I forget who it was, but he was
LeBron James does it.
Yes, he was copying LeBron James.
Yep.
And he's like, watch this. And he sticks his hands and goes like this. And now his face is covered in flour when he does it. But that's the kind of stuff that a great talent brings to the stage.
Yes.
So I will tell you that if you are using a celebrity, plan on the script and the storyboards being 85 to 90% of the finished product.
Yeah, it's guardrails, right? This is where we're going. Now you take it where you think you can take it.
Let your talent be the talent, because that's why you hired these people. These people are artists. These people are great talents.
Right. Well, and this is also when I'm getting the weeds of the shoot day, but this is also why when you're working with celebrity, and what we always do is we craft the schedule so those moments can happen on shoot day. You have to. You've got to craft the schedule appropriately so that space is there for that to happen, and that's something we've gotten really good at.
Yeah, you can just get these magical little moments that happen with a great talent when you leave enough space for the talent to be the talent.
Yep. Right.
So don't be afraid to just let the talent roll off. It's digital videography. It's not costing anything to keep the camera rolling.
Nope.
And let them roll off and be themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because nobody knows how to be them better than them.
And that's why you hired them.
Yeah. So you have fun with it. And they're fun days.
They are fun days. They are fun. They're long days, but they're fun days.
They're long days, but they're fun days. And again, these people, as somebody, let me back up, as somebody who's been on TV a lot myself,
mm-hmm.
being on television is not natural. And you've seen, how many times have you seen non-talent get on camera and they're horrible on camera?
Yeah.
Because
it's nerve-wracking.
Looking natural on TV is not a natural event.
No.
And I'll give you an example. Watch an episode of Cops and see how flat the police look when they're talking.
Right. Yeah, it's not natural. Looking into this camera with all this lighting and now do this and say that, but just be normal.
Right.
There's nothing normal about this situation.
Right. And it's not normal because when you meet someone in person, you're in a 3D environment.
Right.
When you watch them on a screen, you're now in this 2D environment. So you have to overdo things to compensate for the flattening of the screen.
Yes. Yes. Motions have to be much bigger than they normally would be to look normal. It's very weird.
So if you watch a TV commercial with me in it and it looks like I'm talking perfectly normal, you've been on set when it looks like I'm yelling because I'm projecting so much.
Yes.
But it doesn't come out that way when you watch the film back.
No. It almost looks like you're flailing.
Right. So it's like, geez, why is he talking so loud? And then you watch it back, and it's like, oh, that doesn't seem out of line now.
No. Sounds right. Yeah. It's very strange.
So these are talented performers. You get a good talented performer. These are talented people. These are artists.
Right. And that's where, we always are coaching clients, even if we're not using celebrity, why casting is so important. And it's so difficult and such an important process. So even if you're not using the talent you have on that screen is going to bring it to life, and they have to have the experience and know these nuances that you're talking about to bring your story to life. You could write the best creative in the world. You cast incorrectly, and it will never come to life and tell the story that you're trying to tell and have the impact. It's critical.
Yeah, even with non-celebrity talent, the casting is really critical.
It's critical. It's critical.
Like I said, when you got a great talent, let them be a great talent.
Yes, exactly.
Just let them go do that stuff.
100%.
And again, whether it's LaWanda or Alfonso or Chuck,
doesn't matter.
We've had all these moments with all of those talents because we gave them the room to be who they are.
Yes.
Which made the commercial that much better because the audience knew that's who they are.
Yeah, they felt the authenticity. That's
right.
That's what you need.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's it for today. So as always, you can reach out to us. If you enjoy the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. If you're not subscribed, hit the little subscribe button so that you don't miss any episodes. If you have an idea for a show or a question that you have, you can reach out to us. As Justin said, you can go to cpginsiders.com or you can go to jekyllhydelabs.com. You can also go to both those websites and talk to virtual me.
Strap in, folks.
Yes, you can go and ask my AI clone questions about marketing or all kinds of things.
Just know we do see those questions. I'm going to put that out there, guys. So have as much fun as you want, but no, we do see them. So
we do know the questions.
We know the questions.
But actually, that's helpful because then if we see a question that it didn't answer right, we then correct it.
Well, that's the point of it.
It is. All right, that's it, folks. We'll see you on the next episode of CPG Insiders. If you're looking to greatly increase sales on your CPG product, don't hesitate to contact us at Jekyll & Hyde Advertising and Marketing. By the way, the only advertising agency with a guaranteed result. Just go to jekyllhydeagency.com or feel free to give us a call at 800-500-4210.